CDF. Accounting for revenue chair, cause of query, management acknowledges the auditor's observations that amount totaling 7,340 kwacha collected during the period was not accounted for and wish to submit that the amount in question was a result of a misappropriation by a revenue collector. Action taken, management wishes to submit that the amount outstanding of 7,340 kwacha is under disciplinary process, and there is evidence to that effect. Remedial measures, management has set up a system of monitoring field cashiers and daily banking by all revenue collectors on a daily basis so that such vice does not repeat itself. On failure to update the valuation roll chair, the cause of query, management acknowledges the auditor's observation and submit that the council has had no valid valuation roll since 2001 when it expired. However, Chair, in an addendum, I think there is a latest development. The valuation roll has since been approved. Then the remedial measure, Chair, management wishes to submit that it shall ensure that for future purposes, valuation rolls are updated as therefore due. Failure to collect revenue, Chair, cause of query, management acknowledges the auditor's observation that the council did not collect a total of 475,150 kwacha out of 1,498,000 kwacha, and which submit that this was due to the following reasons. One, rental charges. One council building was closed for renovation for half the period, for half during the period under review. On plot premiums, market stores, members of staff did not pay cash but opted to swap for the cost of stores. Another reason, Chair, on plot premiums, residential and commercial, members of staff only paid part payments for the premiums fees. Action taken, management wishes to submit as follows. One, on rental charges, out of the outstanding balance of 16,000 kwacha, 10,000 kwacha has been collected and the receipts and deposit slips are available for verification. Further, Chair, the balance of 6,000 relates to a tenant who has been evicted after failing to comply with the demand notice. However, management is still pursuing the matter and will use all means to recover the outstanding amounts. On plot premiums, that's market stores and residential commercial, money amounting to 89,450,000, those are market stores, and 2,740,500, that's residential and commercial, relates to members of staff of which demand notices have been served, and some have since applied for debt swaps against the council, against what the council is owing in form of salary arrears and setting in allowances. Remedial measures, management wishes to submit that the future approach will be that all staff applications should first pay in full before being recommended for offer to avoid repetition of the same vice, Chair. Failure to avail authority for plots offered in discount prices. Cause of query, Chair. Management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to admit that plots were issued to, among other applicants, members of staff and councillors at a discount without authority. Action taken, management wishes to submit that demand notices were served to members of staff for the full amount and they have since applied for debt swap against what the council is owing them. All councillors that got plots were also served with demand notices, and the follow-ups are still being made to collect the total amount. Further, the debt swaps have since been effected. Remedial measures, management wishes to submit that all applicants for all future plots shall be invoiced at 100% of the premium regardless of status, unless with authority from the relevant ministry. Management, Chair, of payroll and other staff-related matters. that is failure to fill vacant positions. Cause of query, management acknowledges the auditor's observation that some council positions as indicated in the establishment were not all filled. Action taken, management wishes to submit that on a quarterly basis, staff returns are submitted for consideration by the Local Government Service Commission, which include vacancy status report. Remedial measures, management wishes to submit that the current members of staff share the workload required by the council in the absence of these filled positions, whilst pursuing the Local Government Service Commission to fill these cited positions. Over-employment of staff. Cause of query, Chair. Management acknowledges the auditor's observation and submits that the council has been operating with excess members of staff totaling to 4 under the category of revenue collectors. Action taken, management wish to submit that the local authority submitted staff statistical data on 3rd January 2022 to the Local Government Service Commission through minute number that dated 3rd January 2020. In this report, the local authority indicated that the 4 surplus revenue collectors were recruited against the requirements in the staff establishment register. Remedial measures, Chair. Management will continue engaging the Local Government Service Commission to have the matter resolved. Failure to confirm officers. Cause of query, Chair. Management acknowledges the auditor's observation and submit that the Local Government Service Commission had delayed in responding to the recommendations and submissions made by management. Action taken. Management wish to submit that the local authority did submit to the Local Government Service Commission for confirmation of officers of Division 1, 2, and 3, and a number of follow-ups were being made, which resulted to Local Government Service Commission demanding for resubmission, which resubmission, Chair, we have made. Management will continue engaging the Local Government Service Commission to have the matter resolved and enhance engagement with the Commission to avoid a reoccurrence of the same issues, Chair. Employees without requisite qualifications. Cause of query, Chair. Management acknowledges the observations of the auditor that all the officers recruited by the Local Government Service Commission in the cited position did not have requisite qualifications. Action taken. Management wishes to submit that on a quarterly basis, Chair, the Council submits staff return to the Local Government Service Commission that indicates the requisite qualifications of the positions and the actual qualifications held by officers in Division 1, 2, and 3 for consideration. Remedial measures, Chair. Management will continue engaging the Local Government Service Commission as the entity with a mandate to employ. Delayed disposal of disciplinary case. Cause of query, Chair. Management acknowledges the auditor's observation that Council wrote the Commission recommending for summary dismissal of the erring officer, and that as at 30th September 2022, the Commission had not taken any action. Action taken by Management, Chair. The officer was charged and a recommendation to the Government Service Commission was made on 14th February 2022. A submission was also of the same case was also submitted to the Local Service Commission on 9th May 2022. The Council has not yet received a response, and follow-ups on the matter have continued being made. There is also evidence to that effect. Remedial measures. Management will continue engaging the Local Government Service Commission to have the matter resolved. Management of assets, Chair. Failure to insure assets. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's observation that the Council had only been insuring running vehicles and other assets have not been insured during the period under review. Action taken. Management wishes to submit that all runner vehicles were insured during the period under review and will endeavor to insure even those other property that were not being insured. Remedial measures. Management wishes to submit that it shall endeavor that all utility vehicles are insured as required by the law. Failure to maintain council property, Chair. The cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings that the council has an old structure that was built in the early 1970s to serve as a storeroom during the construction of the civic center. Its structural strength has over the time weakened. Action taken. Management wishes to submit that it has since taken the matter to council and for consideration and resolved under that minute to demolish the structure. There is also evidence attached to that effect. Remedial measures, Chair. Management to implement the decision of the council to demolish the old structure and secure other structures through periodic maintenance, Chair. Management of Local Government Equalization Fund, that's misapplication of funds, Chair. Cause of query. Management wishes to acknowledge the observations of the auditor and submit that this has been due to liquidity challenges and management had to borrow over the period to cushion the wage bill. Action taken. Management wishes to submit that it shall endeavor to reimburse back the borrowed funds, since we are aware, Chair, that these funds are meant for capital projects. Remedial measures, Chair. Management wishes to submit that the council is waiting for the award of evaluation role, which has since been awarded, Chair, by the Evaluation Rates Tribunal. This will assist to cushion the financial challenges being faced by the local authority, Chair. Management of Constituency Development Fund. Maintenance of Namsonde Mara Road. Cause of query. Management acknowledges and accepts the observation of the auditor and submits that the works were halted due to a policy directive, hence being incomplete. The scope of works for the rehabilitation of 18 kilometers of Namsonde Mara Road was as follows. One was culvert installation, 5 of them, drift construction, and earthworks, that is backfilling. Action taken, Chair. The policy directed by the Republican President to discontinue the works was reported to the CDF committee and the Minister of Local Government and Local Development and Rural Development, and the remaining materials like stones, gravel, and sand are being stored at Chief Mungaira's Palace, and the culverts are stored at Namwara Civic Center for future use, Chair. The evidence is also attached. Remedial measures. Management has resolved to be awarding full contracts for all contractual works under CDF because these are the issues that cause the problems most of the time. Drilling of 16 boreholes, Chair, that is delayed completion. Cause of query. Management acknowledges and agrees with the auditor's findings and wishes to submit that the boreholes were being drilled using a council rig which developed a fault during the drilling at Chitumbi Community School. Action taken. Management wishes to submit that the rig has since been repaired using CDF and the drilling will commence after the rainy season. As you may be aware, Chair, that boreholes are better drilled during the dry season. So we are waiting for that season. Management of liabilities, Chair. Failure to remit statutory and other obligations. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to submit that the council had not been able to liquidate statutory obligations due to financial challenges. Action taken. Management wishes to submit that the council currently has no financial capacity to liquidate the balance or pay the statutory obligations as they fall due. However, management has been able to pay a total of 86,885 kwacha 68 ngwe for the period under review, and the status is as indicated in Appendix H. However, Chair, in an addendum, I think we have further paid the sum of 51,500 kwacha towards the same liquidations. Remedial measures. Management wishes to state that it remains committed in finding ways of improving revenues for the council, such as valuation roll updating, which has since been approved, engagement of ward development committees and revenue agents in far-flung areas that will assist in meeting council obligations. Further, the expanded revenue expected from property rates will also improve the liquidity position of the council. Failure to settle staff obligations, Chair. Cause of query. Management wishes to acknowledge and agrees with author's observation that submit that the council had not been able to liquidate staff obligations as they fell due to financial challenges. Action taken. Management wishes to submit that management has been able to pay a total of 220,720 kwacha 57 ngwe as at 31st January 2023 towards liquidating staff obligations as indicated in Appendix H there. And again, Chair, in the addendum, there's the latest development where we have further paid 112,000 kwacha towards the same, Chair. In conclusion, Chair, of my report, I wish on behalf of management of Namwana Town Council to indicate that we do not take issues for granted and pledge to this honorable committee that we shall, as a team, make improvements on our shortcomings in accordance with the instructions or directives that may be given by this honorable House Chair. I submit my report, Chair.
Thank you very much. That was quite very good speed. I commend you for that. Members, Parliament, you may now ask follow-up questions. Or, yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chair. I'll take you to page 1, locally generated funds. Local taxes, you budgeted for 76,020. You only managed to raise 12,840. And the reason you have given there is COVID-19. Number 2, fees and charges. You budgeted for 3,093,704, and you only managed to collect 1,399,607. The reason you have given there is because the council planned to raise this fund, and because you didn't have the drilling league was blocked. So my question now is, how much was budgeted for under the borehole drilling for you to state that the variance was mainly affected by the failure to drill commercial boreholes? I submit, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Off the cuff, I think it will be difficult for me to state how much was budgeted on the drilling of boreholes. I don't know whether many of my managers has got that.
Yeah, okay. Meanwhile, you can note that question, please,
okay,
so that you take another question.
Okay.
So as you are here, the members you have come with can also help you answer.
Okay.
But you should answer most of the questions yourself. Another question? Yes.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'll take you to page 3, where you've indicated on your positive variances, you stated to say this was due to the enhanced enforcement by the Revenue Task Force and to capture all businesses. It goes back to, if you had put this in place on levies, on licenses and levies, why didn't you do the same on local taxes and fees and charges? I submit, Chair.
Yeah, and the last one's too on the rig. you take note of very carefully. For how long was the drilling rig down? And knowing that it was also being used for revenue collection, why did you not budget for the spares and repairs? Or in short also, why did it take you long to repair it? Because that's your livelihood. And it had a problem, you watch. So we'd like you to answer those three questions.
Thank you, Chair. I will start with the last one. The rig was down for close to a year, I think. And the delay in repairing the chair is due to financial challenges until we had the chance now to apply for CDF, and you know how the process of CDF, how long they take. That's why there was that delay in the repairing the rig.
How much was roughly the cost?
It was 58,000 something. The cost of the rig. 352. It was 352.
To repair?
To repair, yes. The question number two, I think, you know, when you are sometimes operating as a local authority, sometimes it's not easy to say, no, here we should do, no, come up with the task force here, until when you realize that I think we are not doing fine. What is the problem? Then that's when you sit down and think of the task force. That's why maybe you'll find that we had decided to use the task force on the other revenue center and not on other revenue centers.
So still more on the rig. Don't you have a maintenance plan? And or didn't they tell you that this spare part, because when they service, they can tell you that this is likely to break down for this period. For the magnitude of 300,000, if you take your rig for service regular, they should have warned you. Didn't you have such information? Would like you to answer that one, and then, yes.
Thank you, Chair. I'm still not convinced, Chair. As a council, your mandate is to collect revenue at the end of the day. Why then would you create a task force on one vote and on the other you forgo? It really doesn't go well, Chair. I submit.
Maybe to further clarify on the task force, maybe I did not come out clearly. You know, when you are operating as a local authority, there is a time when you see that you are not doing fine in revenue collection. That's when now you come up with a task force to not only focusing on one revenue center, but it's on everything.
Yes, Nakonde, then Honorable Kolara.
Well, thank you very much, Chair. On other receipts, you budgeted for 207,583, and you never collected anything. And you are giving a reason to say you expected this money from ZESCO Welif. Now, you knew that the council was not awarded the Welif contract with ZESCO. Why did you put it in your budget? Even knowing surely that you didn't have a contract with ZESCO. I submit, Chair.
Honorable Kolara.
Thank you, Chair. CS, I'm looking at the figures here. The budgets, local taxes 76,000 kwacha only. Fees and charges 3 million only. Licenses 50,000 kwacha only. I don't know, maybe I've got a wrong report here. Or maybe that's the report we have. I'd love to understand from you, CS, Namwala. And we know Namwala to be one of the richest districts. And I wouldn't even be tempted to say there was an ambitious issue of budgeting. I think I feel it was even underestimated. What are the challenges that you would even fail to even just correct 76,000 kwacha? Even my poor district is doing better than this.
Thank you, Chair. I'll start with the last question, I think.
Yeah, but still more there. Yes, as you as yes, his point is really valid here. We are very concerned because if you look at really, you collected only about 2.8 million. That's not worth having the council there. You are running at huge losses. Look at how much money the government is spending to pay your workers to do everything. And this is the only tax that you collect. Abattoirs that are there, animals that go there, you can make a lot of money. I'm wondering why, because it's really the overall picture is bleak here.
Thank you, Chair. I appreciate the concern because I think your focus is your focus is to ensure that Namwara Town Council, does fine, like other councils. But I do not know the impression that people have for Namwara is that I think it's a very rich council, but when you go on the ground, that is not the case, Honorable. That is not, and when budgeting, we ensure that we realistically budget, and like exaggerating in a way that you may even fail to collect that one. So it's actually a realistic budget regarding the Namwara situation. It's not as portrayed that it's a rich council. It isn't. Maybe we need.
But you're very defensive here. I don't think this is the best you can get from Namwara.
Okay.
Then it means you've run out of ideas. I've said, I went to Namwara recently. I don't know whether I saw 2 abattoirs with a lot of animals. How much do you charge per one animal that is slaughtered?
It's because most of the people slaughtered outside, like Zambia, for example.
I'm talking of those that are in the abattoir. I saw them. I passed through there. There were many in a day. Many. I was there in December. Many, when I say many, men were there in the abattoir waiting to be slaughtered.
Okay. Is it 100 twice?
So how much do you charge? You're not telling me. You don't know.
Well, thank you, Chair. It's 55 kwacha per slaughter.
No, 55. So for the whole year, how many animals are slaughtered in those abattoirs that are in Namwara? Approximately.
Okay. Chair, I seek your indulgence to allow the treasurer to come in.
Yes, you also have fish there.
Okay.
You have a lot of fish in Namwara. You know?
Thank you, Chair. I'll start with the query on local taxes. Local taxes is mainly personal levy and property rates. In this case, we did not have a valuation role during the period under review, so there was no income from property rates. So the income there is mainly personal levy. Then on fees and charges, yes, the major income generating activity for Namwara is the one from animal levies. The 55,000 kwacha is when an animal is slaughtered in the district, including inspection and carcass fees. Then for the animals that are taken out of the districts, we charge a live weight fee of 100 kwacha. The money you see as having been collected, the 1,300,000, is mainly from the abattoirs. And yes, the animals that could have seen have been the one that have contributed a lot in this case. Unfortunately, we did not come with the information as in how many animals were slaughtered during the period under review. But the income you see there is reflective of how much we've collected from that line. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, go ahead. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. I'm a little bit worried from what the treasurer is just alluding to. If you are saying you didn't have an evaluation role during that period under review, what about the old one? Was it not in effect, or why then did you budget for when you knew that there was no evaluation role for you to collect the rates? I submit, Chair.
Yes, another question?
Thank you very much. Getting the submission from our treasurer there on fees and charges, he has alluded to the failure to collect this And also he has stated to say animals, they contribute a lot to the fees and charges. But when you look at what they have submitted here, they have alluded to the failure, to the damage of the drilling rig without mentioning the animals. I would want to find out, why didn't you mention also that one of the living new stream is animals? Because I haven't heard in this report anywhere where I have mentioned the animals. Why? As a Chair.
Yeah, just to add, because here, when you calculate 55, it means Namala, when he sells about 23,000 animals per year. So are you telling us now, because the other question is very important, where he says, if you knew there was no evaluation, why did you budget? We need an explanation from that. And are you telling us that per year, the animals that Namala sells are only 23,000? Or should we believe that now your council simply exists because of one item, animals? There's no innovation to increase the revenue. And on top of the question I've asked, the last question, you collect so much money from animals. What service do you give in relation to these animals? Thank you. May you go ahead and answer.
Thank you, Chair. There was a question to say, why do you budget for the contract which you know that you will not be awarded? I wish to inform the committee that councils from time immemorial ZESCO have been awarding contract to council from time immemorial until suddenly during the period of review and they did not award. So we took it for granted that even this year will be awarded. Even this year will be awarded because we have been awarded. They have been awarding councils.
Yes, Honorable Kulala.
Thank you, Chair. I think the issue here is certain information is not coming out. For example, on local taxes, what you've given us here as a reason is COVID. On the fees and charges is the breakdown of the drilling machine. Now, even earlier I asked a question to say, tell us, we need to understand Namwara. Like you said, we might have a wrong perception about Namwara. Why can't you give us information about Namwara? Why these small figures? And even if they are small figures, we even fail to correct.
Thank you, Chair. I think may I start by saying that I think the questions that are being asked, we appreciate them. We appreciate them, and they will make us, think when we go back to say, what can we do in order to expand the revenue at Namwala Town Council in order to serve our people better. Namwala, yes, they are very rich people there in Namwala because they own cattle. But I have discovered that they are not very good at meeting their obligations. For example, to pay rates and other things. They are not very good at that. So I think maybe we need a lot of sensitization to that effect, so with a view of improving the revenue for the council.
No, but look, in December when I was there, I will not mention a name. There was a farmer who sold almost over 200 animals. Are you with me here?
Yes.
Yes. And you have a checkpoint. You have a what? A checkpoint where you collect money. And that's what I was telling you to say. It's not a correct reflection that Namwala in a year will sell about only 23,000 animals. No. Somebody sold there in 2 days, 200. And I was watching there. So they passed through the road and the levy was corrected. So we are saying here, this is not fair because you are taking government money here. We pay equalization fund of 8 million. And you collect 2 million. If it's a company, it's closed. What's the point of opening such a company? You know, you suppose the purpose of the council is raise money. That money you raise, offer service. And that's what I would love you to know now. From money you collect from these cows, you can't be collecting Namwala 76, you're making a 76,000 kwacha. And if you even fail to collect 76,000 kwacha, you collect 12,000, surely. What are all these officers doing? If you are to pay yourself, because you see, equalization fund is not an entitlement. It's not actually meant for salaries. This is money that comes from mineral royalty, so that you give it to the community. You are simply a conduit to take this money back to the community. And you now, you are taking a big chunk out of it. It's not supposed to be almost. So if we remove the equalization fund, can Namwala Council survive? In a year, you wouldn't even pay a single month's salaries. And this is why they are worried now. Any other questions? Yeah, but the service, I think we want you to answer the last one for the service, and we go to the next set.
For the service that we do?
Yes. Can you collect a lot of money from cows? So what service do you offer in return?
Thank you, Chair. Among the services that we do as Namwala Council, I think we do solid waste management, in fact, effectively, sir. Pothole patching, we do it, although there are no many, we don't have many roads, but we do pothole patching. Indeed, many other services that we
No,
attend
I'm talking,
to.
you see, look, I'm saying, if you don't offer good service to your big client that gives you money, they will begin to dodge, because they don't see the need why they are paying tax. Mention the specific one. You are collecting so much money from animals. What service do you give particularly to these? Because they are in the bush, they are in the farms. What service do you give so that they are encouraged to pay tax?
Who can come in? Chair, I think for the farmers, it's very, very difficult for them to receive a service from us. One, because we don't have the machinery of our own, and that we realize as management. No wonder, Chair, for this year, we are procuring earth-moving equipment using CDF in order that we open up the roads so that these farmers can actually appreciate that the council is offering a service. Otherwise, it's a challenge, Chair. And may I add, Chair, that I think we have really appreciated your brainy teaser, maybe I can say like that, to say you have got a barrier there. I think we discovered as a management that that barrier is not enough, because if you note, there are two roads there. So there's a barrier here, the other road is open. So I think we are being dribbled by the client. And so we made a decision that we should cover both. So there should be a barrier here and a barrier to the road going to Chom, so that we can tighten our loss in revenue.
Thank you, Chair. On the fees and charges, still there, on action taken, you have acknowledged that the dig has been repaired. Immediately after the Auditor General queries you, I would want to find out, where did you get the money immediately after you were queried that you failed to source before they came? Where did you get the money from?
Very good question.
I submit, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Indeed, we had the challenges in repairing the rig because of the financial difficulties. But after applying to use CDF, then it was approved and we were able to repair, Chair.
But I'm wondering, I mean, this is just a question. You're making a lot of money from the rig. Don't you save for its maintenance? You wait for it to break down. You have an equipment, because even a cow, for you to give you more milk, you must feed it. You can't just be milking until you milk blood or until the calf dies. You won't have milk the following day. So that's why I asked, what is your maintenance plan of this item that brings you money? Either you're not saving it properly, and you are even failing to save money. You are supposed to have specifically an account where you put money to say, this money is for the maintenance of this item that brings us money. Unlike now, what kind of business that now you have to go and get from CDF? You should pay that money back to CDF. That machine should raise money, maintain itself, and make profit. Then you can say you're in business.
Thank you, Chair.
Any further questions?
Chair,
Yes.
he has stated to say they applied for CDF. In which year was that application made? Is it 2021 CDF, 2022, or 2023? The money that you raised for you to repair the rig?
Chair, it's 2022 CDF, although because of the processes in procuring, we repaired it this year.
What do you mean processes? Because you repaired it this year.
Yes, sir.
But the money, the first quarter last year, it came quite on time.
I was saying the procurement process because it was ordered from which country, right? Thailand. From Thailand. Now for it to come, issues of clearance, it took a bit of time, Chair.
Yeah, let's have another question.
Can we move on to the next question, Chair?
Yeah.
I'll take you to page 4, Chair. On environmental management, the dam site, Chair. For how long have you been using the dam site without ZEMA approval?
Maybe I seek the the indulgence of the engineer who has been very long at Namala to help us.
Thank you, Chair. I came to Namwala in 2016. The dump site was still in use. I'm sure it has gone beyond 6 years. Thank you, Chair.
But does that answer his question?
No, I don't know.
I think his question, may you repeat the question? I think it hasn't been answered adequately.
Basically, Chair, is this is a dam site which has not been approved. And for you to have been using it from 2016, meaning there must be something wrong as a council. How can you go on using something which has not been approved by ZEMA from 2016? How are you then as a council operating if you can even follow the rules which are set for you to operate a dam site? Are you for sure trying to protect the lives of the people you are trying to provide a service to? I submit, Chair.
I think that one is a very serious question. We need answers on it, yes.
Chair, we appreciate the concerns of the House, and I'm also aware how dangerous it is to operate the dam site the way it is, because you know it has got also a very negative effect on the global warming. You know, garbage produces methane, which is got a very big influence in as far as global warming issues are concerned. So, yes, we appreciate and we ensure that we take corrective measures as directed by this committee, Chair.
Yes, because you see, it's shocking. Dump site is supposed to be your main business, and council take it laissez-faire. It's business. They just go dump like anybody, and yet you are the specialist in this. If there's anything you are talking about garbage collection, where the council should tick, it's this area. But nobody pays attention. It's like a toilet in the house. You use it. If you don't clean it, that same toilet can make you leave the house. It can bring diseases. So that's the main center of the council. And dump sites, you must take them serious. Because I've seen really, there's that, I don't know what attitude. You just take things and dump, leave there. Can't fence, the recommendations are there. Even compacting, all the requirements are not being done by many councils. So how do you go now to close other people's bars that don't fit. You have inspectors. You go and you close. You are failing to run a dump site. And I think this is why we need to take this very, very seriously. Honorable Korar.
Thank you, Chair. You know, like you were saying, shocking, because the CS was just from telling us when he was itemizing the services they are giving to the people of Namwara was garbage collection. Now, when you look at this dump site, I don't know how we can even go and ask about dump site, because just the market itself, when you go to page 7, just the market. And from the cause of query, management wishes to acknowledge that the council has not had the refuse collection points or receptacle in strategic places such as bus station and market. Just this. Chair, I don't even know how to phrase the question. CS, what are you doing?
And just as you to add on this, you said banning it causes munitions, global warming, but you are banning here West Bant at Namwara Market. Is this the best way of dealing with the West? 2 questions. Thank you.
No, Chair, it's not the best way, and we pledge to this Honorable House, Chair, that because these issues are very serious that we are raising, and we appreciate it. So we pledge that we are going to improve our operations in managing the dump site, Chair.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'm looking at when you look at the bus station, there is no bin, no waste bin at the market, Chair. And you have stated that the council has got financial challenges. How then do you intend to protect the community from the health hazards by leaving the dump site unfenced and without collecting the solid waste? How do you intend to protect the community of Namwara? I submit, Chair.
Yeah, another question?
Yes, Chair. CS, do not leave out any question unanswered, because I'm just adding on what my colleague, the honorable member, has asked. What is so difficult with the council applying some little bit of sense of agency? Because these problems are not just 2021. I'm sure even now when we go there, we might find this is there. That's why the CS is pledging to say we are going to, now 2021, 2022, this is 2023, when you are pledging to do things differently. Where is the difficulty part with you just applying some little bit of agency?
You answer those questions, yes?
Thank you, Chair. I think most of the questions are arising from the audit queries that we are here for. And in our action plans, I think we are still pledging that we are going to work on this, we are going to work on that. And for the refuse-based, Chair, it's a very topical issue during management. All the time we say, when are we starting this? Because we realize that our people are not safe just to leave the garbage open like that.
And then CS.
Of course, Chair,
Okay, yeah. Honorable Kapampi.
Chair, there's an issue again which has surprised me,
Okay, yeah.
where the council has gone ahead to fence a dump site which hasn't been approved. What if Zema doesn't approve it? Don't you think it will be a loss on the part of the council? I submit, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. We did apply, of course, to Zema, but the issue of fencing is to protect it from being visited by unauthorized persons, whilst we are processing the authority.
And let me just ask, I don't know, would you allow somebody to start business without a license? Which comes first?
As a local authority, no, we wouldn't allow, Chair.
So with Zema, why do you start before they even actually authorize you? I need an answer. I want to know the reasons why dump sites will just start without permission from Zema. Are you people sitting with Zema to share the challenges that you have so that you can see how these can be approved quickly? Yes, go ahead, help, please. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. The issue of the dump site in Namwala, yes, it's a thorny issue, and as observed, it's not good for the healthy, both to the human beings and the environment. The aspect.
The council's reputation.
Yes.
Yeah.
The aspect of fencing it, one, is to make sure that the scavengers do not encroach, because it's observed that even animals there in Namwala, you know, we have a lot of animals in Namwala. So if it is not fenced, animals will go there, eat plastics and the other things dumped there, which is not good for the animals. So your question, Chair, why going ahead before Zema? Yes, we've applied, and Zema is yet to give us a response. We are still making follow-ups. But what we did is for remedial purposes, because a lot of farmers will be losing their animals out of negligence. So that is just trying to avert also other causes as a result of not fencing it. But otherwise, it is well observed, and we are making strides so that that dump site is secured, and also not only secured, but we get authority to run it and run it properly. I submit, Chair.
Thank you. Yeah, I think on this topic, last question, yes, Honorable Kapampi.
Chair, it has taken them 7 years to fence a dump site, and this has only happened because of the auditor's query. What is it then, as a council, are you doing if only you can react to things after being queried by the Auditor General's office? Because 7 years is something else. It's too long for a council not to think of, to say there is this dump site we are using illegally which needs to be fenced. I submit, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. We take responsibility of our shortcoming, Chair, in leaving the dump site for many years without attending to it. All the same, Chair, I think we are here. We are being sharpened. As you are interrogating us, we are being sharpened, and I can assure you that things will not be the same.
Sam, then Honorable, Spumba, you can go ahead. No. Yeah. You mean out of this topic?
Yes.
Yeah, just wanted to know a quick one, CS, before it comes. How long does Zema take to approve? Have you gotten any response from Zema?
We followed up last week, and we were told that the matter was referred to the Livingston office, and we are yet to interact with the people in Livingston so that we quickly secure that, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Honorable Simumba, yes.
Thank you very much, Chair. I will take you to page 7, and accounted for revenue. Chair, here there is a revenue collector who kept money without banking, 7,340, and the management never knew until the external auditors came. I would want to find out how often are the revenue collectors checked by the supervisors. That is the first question. The second question, what role does the internal auditor play in checking the operations of the revenue collectors? Chair, I submit.
Yes. Still on the same one. Let me read it in full so that we can really understand the magnitude. It says now, an officer holder who collects revenue is required to bring to an account on daily basis. Contrary to the Act, amount totaling 7,340 collected during the period under review could not be accounted for in that funds were neither banked nor was the cash found. Yes, Honorable Kapampi, go ahead.
It's over the same.
Yes.
I just want to find out why the same revenue was not banked on a daily basis. And the other question is, why was the monitoring system not developed so that you can easily capture to say, oh, there is this money which has not been banked. I submit, Chair.
May you answer those questions?
Seek the indulgence of the treasurer.
Please go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. The matter in question involved the revenue collector who had collected revenue in the course of his duties, and he vacated station. He proceeded on leave without accounting for the money. This is why you've
You
seen
said he vacated what?
he proceeded to leave station without depositing the said money. This is why the report is saying was neither banked nor cash found. This is what arose to the disciplinary action. My office called him before he left station, but he was non-responsive, and therefore he was charged, and this up to where we are today. Otherwise, the instruction, Chair, is that all revenue is supposed to be accounted for on a daily basis. Those that are in far flung, they are instructed to bank every day at the end of the day using bank agents direct into the account. The role of the internal auditor also comes in on a daily basis to confirm that the money that has been collected is tallying with what is in the counter files before it is actually banked. The monitoring system, it's not that we did not monitor or it took us long. The reason was the officer went away with the cash without authority. And not that we did
When
not.
you say went away, explain further. Did he leave or she
He left
Namwala or what?
he left Namwala district, yes.
How long did it take to collect this money?
Chair, with this money we've not yet collected actually. He proceeded to go outside town. We made follow-ups, he was non-responsive, so on his return, he was immediately charged.
I'm talking of this amount, 7,340.
Yes, sir.
Did he collect it in one day, or he collected over a period?
It was in a period of 2 days. The last 2 days of working before he left.
Honorable Kola.
Chair, I think maybe let the director help us with the specifics when he talks about when that gentleman, whether it's a gentleman or a lady, left in Amwala, for how long? So that we know, because there are certain issues where you don't expect to charge if somebody absconded work for more than the stipulated time. It's not chargeable, it's dismissible. We need to understand. Let him give us the specifics.
Thank you, Chair. He was away for 2 weeks, but in this matter is that he got council money without authority, and he had not yet accounted for that money. On return, he did admit that he had personal challenges, and he used the resources without any authority. So that is what happened in this matter, Chair. Thank you.
And now, Chair, Director, and you charged him, and he responded and is still with the council.
Maybe I should do further guide that upon his return, he was not deployed again in revenue matters. He was charged, went through the disciplinary procedures, and we recommended accordingly, the disciplinary committee recommended accordingly, and we are awaiting the final decision by the Local Government Service Commission. The officer is not deployed anywhere near finances. Thank you, Chair.
But he's accumulating a salary. And what the Employment Act you use there, or the conditions you use there, they says for how long should somebody abscond work for you to dismiss a person?
It's 10 days.
And now, for this one, you went for 14 days, and you went with the money, the council money. Then he comes back, he doesn't have money for 14 days, and you just charge him, and now put him, who's got nothing to do but is accumulating is receiving the salary.
The going away was authorized, as in terms of leave. So the going away was unauthorized. What was not authorized was he left the station with the money. So the charge here is not his absence from office, but the fact that he went away with the councilman.
I think you see, there are two cases here. You are using went away as if it's authorized. Sorry, we don't have parliamentary. On parliamentary, I'll give you a chance. We don't allow, I mean, words like, for me here, he took something that is not his. And this was supposed to be a police case. This is a criminal case, it's supposed to have been taken to the police.
Yeah.
Yes, Honorable.
This gentleman, from the initial talk we had, he went away, he was not on leave. Now we are hearing he was authorized to go. Will it be wrong for me to think somebody ate the money and using this guy as an scapegoat?
Thank you so much. How do you give someone leave when he hasn't handed over the money, what belongs to the council? I really fail to understand, Chair. It's not making sense. If someone is owing money for the company, you cannot be given leave before you retire the money. So how was he given leave when he didn't hand over the money which was meant to be council money? I submit, Chair.
And you see, CS, we have this system where within the council, these revenue collectors who have two receipts. One receipt, council workers share. One is declared. So this question is very important. How was he given permission before he hands over? Because usually if you are going out for 2 weeks or so, you hand over what you're supposed to hand over. If you have a laptop, so that work continues. But like a cashier, if he hands over daily basis, how is he given permission without him doing his last part? It means if this happened, from my own thinking, you can't stop us from thinking that, then there is some illegality that goes on. You know, there's a cartel, you know, that goes in from there's something that's not right that goes on with these revenue collectors. And this is why he's being treated with the baby gloves. Because it's supposed to be taken to the police. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you very much. Chair, I would want to find out from the internal auditor if he picked this and what comment did he give before the external auditors came, the internal auditor.
May that question be answered just now. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. We picked this during our spot checks when we went to the markets and ablution blocks.
I think you can still come and sit somewhere here. Yeah. No, here. Don't be afraid. Just come here. Be closer to me here.
Okay, thank you, Chair. This case of unaccounted for funds, we picked it up during our spot checks. Okay. During the spot checks, and we communicated to the principal officer, notifying him of what had happened, and we copy as well to finance. It was, I think, during the same process also we were notified of his leave, that he had gone on leave. And despite that, however, we made a contact as internal audit to call the officer to find out where I'd left the receipt books. It was during the same time that the revenue collector notified internal audit that he had gone with the revenue books, which we found quite strange. And I think from our meeting with the management, the treasurer was directed to call the officer back immediately so that the case is resolved.
When did you detect it, sir? Was it before the auditors came or?
It was before the external auditors.
Yeah, please turn off that mic. Chair, CS, who authorized the leave for this man, and where is the evidence?
Thank you, Chair. It will be difficult at this point for me to know who had authorized, unless the treasurer can.
Chair, when you check here, the response actually is saying this man is under disciplinary. It's saying this money, the response, when you hear the response, where is that one? Yeah. The response is saying management wishes to submit that the amount outstanding is under disciplinary process. Now, we're talking about 2021. This report, I know it's 2021. Today, the response is under disciplinary. The person who authorized, who gave who approved the leave for that person is not known. This person was given leave when he had money for the council. And when he came back, he was away. When he came back, up to now, that man is not there. And that man is not being given other works to do. Chair, CSC, you found this. And it's there now. Why are you condoning this?
Thank you, Chair. I am not condoning it, Chair. As we get back, Chair, we are going to review this issue. It's only that by the time I was coming in, it was already in it already appeared as an audit query. So,
CSC, you are there, you found this, and you saw it was normal for it to be treated the way you've treated it.
no, Chair, I found it, and I was briefed that the issue is with the Local Government Service Commission. I was also worried, Chair, because it took a long time without resolving it.
Has the money been recovered?
No, Chair, it hasn't been recovered.
No, that's very. You see, this is where we are saying there's something that is not right here. So I don't think this person is working alone. One, it takes over here the taxpayers' money, and you are struggling to repair the rig here. And this is the way you use it. Money you collect from the people. You collect tax 7,000 for the whole year. It's not recovered. A person is no. There's something that's not right here. You tell us something here that can make sense here. You see, you have neither recovered the money, and you're not pushing for this person to be punished. What do you teach? What lesson do other workers learn then?
Seriously, tell us the truth. Was this person on leave? And if yes, where is the evidence?
Chair, as it was already observed that I found this matter. Of course, I take responsibility because that is the office I occupy. When I read the record, I saw that the issue was still with the Local Government Service Commission, although it was worrisome that it took long before the Commission could resolve it. So now I have the task at the Principal Officer to follow up with the Local Government Service Commission.
But yes, you couldn't even ask for a leave proof if that person was on leave truly, you couldn't ask. You don't even know where you are. You are not even sure whether this person was truly on leave or the person was not on leave. You don't even know.
CS, the person admitted he collected the money. What is so difficult to collect it back? He is not refusing that he didn't take the money. He agreed, he took the money, and you are waiting for the Service Commission to come and collect the money, to recover the money. You didn't take him to the police, you took him to the... Why did you take him to the local service commission? Do you need local service commission to recover the money that he admitted he collected?
Chair, on the same, because I'm worried, and the same officer is still working under council and is being paid. I'm sure if the council was serious, from his salaries, they would have recovered this money.
Yeah.
Now, since 2021, 2022, 12 months, and the officer is being paid. Why haven't you collected the money? Why haven't you found a way of recovering this money from his salaries since you work with him? I submit, Chair.
CS, may you answer those questions?
Thank you, Chair. I think we are receiving very good counsel here. As soon as we get back, Chair, we will quickly review this case and see how we can quickly dispose it, sir.
But the question has still not been answered. Why haven't you recovered the money?
That is the issue, Chair, that we are going to work on as we get back, Chair.
So you have no reason as to why you haven't collected the money?
The only reason, Chair, is that, I found this matter that it was already in the hands of the Local Government Service Commission. So I did not even think of to act in a certain way other than waiting from the response from the Local Government Service Commission. But because of the good counsel that is coming through us, I think we'll relook at this issue and deal
But
with
CS, do you need the Local Service Commission to recover the money that has been taken?
No, Chair.
From your worker there?
No.
And he admits that I got this money wrongly. It's not mine. Honorable Korona.
Thank you, Chair. I think public funds in Namwara are in danger. Because when you look at what we are discussing now, you go also to page 9, you look at the issue of uncorrected revenue. There are rental charges, there are plot premium, market stores, and plot premium. You find on the 2 and the 3, members of staff did not pay cash but opted to debt swap for the cost of stores. And I'm failing to even understand how the council owes these members of staff. I'm sure when you say members of staff, these are workers, are council workers. I don't even know how the council owes these people, that they were even doing debt swap with these people, even on plots. Workers in Namwara Council, actually even the council owes them. They even do debt swap. That's why maybe this gentleman had to go with that 7,000. CS, how do you explain this?
Thank you, Chair. The owings that council owes to the officers, I think they are historical. There was a time when the Local Government Service Commission transferred the staff en masse, a lot of them at the same time, such that payment of certain allowances was a challenge on the part of the council. So it has been accumulating over the years. That's why we are owing the
Okay, members.
Chair, they are transferred to other council, and the Namwara council is still paying them. It's still. Let me understand that. Those who are transferred to Namwara and those who are transferred out of Namwara, is still Namwara council to pay all of them.
No, Chair. Those that are being transferred to Namwara, it's Namwara Town Council that pays the setting in allowances. And those that are going out, it's the receiving councils that do pay.
Yeah, I think we, after honorable member's question, we go to another topic.
Thank you very much. On the same debt swap, I wanted to find out if there was any approval that was given by the full council for the officers to do a debt swap. And if it wasn't, what measures, what type, how did you reach to the conclusion of officers doing the debt swap? I submit, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. The matter has not yet been reported to Council, but after the application, it's only that now we're already in this House. Otherwise, during the next Council meeting, we endeavor to report the same, Chair.
Okay, let's go to another area. Now, we've been here for...
Yes, Chair.
Yeah.
Yes, Chair. In the same vein, I want to connect it from where we are coming from. You find this is the council that gets money from Equalization Fund. And they use it. From the auditor's report, it is written misappropriation. At this particular time you were getting this money was gotten and being used for other things, was it not known that it was an offense?
You may answer yes. Members of Parliament, we go to another area so that we have been on this one for too long. To page 10, yeah, but another topic, yes. Go ahead, CS, answer that.
Thank you, Chair. May I start by saying that, industrial harmony, I think it's a very, very important issue if people are to deliver the general workforce. Otherwise, sometimes as management, we act we act in the way we act in order to suppress industrial disharmony. So that's why sometimes maybe we are forced to say, because if this issue degenerates, it may imbalance not only the council management, but sometimes it can even dent the face of government. So we act in certain to suppress very serious issues. That's why we
but honestly, you can't suppress a spring, CS. If you are doing things correctly, they must be done correctly. If somebody takes money, which is not his, must pay back. And if the society knows, because what can actually cause an industrial arrest is not doing things properly. If things, that's why guidelines are done correctly, why suppressing somebody that's wrong? Can you suppress a pregnancy? It will come out anyway. So the point I'm trying here, you're not doing very well in this. And now I'm going to ask you a question. As the CS of Namwala Council, you have seen this council, things are not all right. Revenue collection is at stake. Service delivery is at stake. Procedure is not being followed. What is it that we have done since you came? What have you put in place to avert this that can create hope to the Namwala people? That now, with your coming, with your strategies, the Namwala Council will perform. What have you done? What strategies have you put or measures have you put in place?
Thank you, Chair. With regards to revenue collection, I think I did instruct management, for example, because in reference to the case that we have here, to ensure that audit should play its critical part to ensure that on a daily basis, revenue collectors are being checked and that the money is banked. All those procedures, I think I've emphasized so that we don't trend on the same issue. So
that's the only measure I've put with this, because looking at this council, if it's a patient at the hospital, I'm sure you will find the kidneys are not working properly, the lungs are not working properly, he's not working properly. We are supposed to do a lot of things to pick it up so that the person can now come float on the normal basis. There are a lot of problems that are in this council. So you can't just say, I have done this, just one thing. Honorable Corona.
Yes. Again, from page 16, when you go to page 17, the delayed projects for Mara Road, which I know is last year we even had the tour there. We found they were building culverts using blocks, and now this time we find you are saying there was a policy directive. What is this policy directive that made you stop work and pack everything? What was the policy directive?
Thank you, Chair. The policy directed by the Republican President was that the works should be halted so that the RDA should take over the works. And after that directive, RDA did visit the site, making the assessment of the work. That was the delays, Chair.
Chair, was this policy directive just issued to Namara Council or to all the councils?
It was a specific policy directive of Namsonde and Namala Road, just for Namara Council, Chair. For the particular road, Chair, only.
And that was which month?
That was April 2021. April 2022 or 21? 2022, April 2022.
Now, we are dealing with the 2021 report. You are giving us the policy that came in April 2022. That meaning by April 2022, from 2021, you had not yet started doing anything, or what really happened?
Works were actually undergoing. I think Director Engineering can shed more light on the same.
Thank you, Chair. The authority to start using the money came in January 2022. Thereafter, we moved to site, and then we did 4 structures. As we were trying to go to the 5th one, that's when we received the policy direction that we halt the works. RDA, we are going to upgrade the road to a bituminous standard. That's how we immediately had to demobilize. Thank you, Chair.
Just for interest sake, Director Engineering, what's the status of that crossing point, that bridge? What's the status as of today?
There is one point which is very notorious in the rain season. We had issues recently, and RDA, they took up the challenge, and they worked on the same spot. So the road is passable, but with a lot of challenges.
Sorry, Chair. Would it be the same point we came to inspect last time?
Yes, Chair, that's the same point.
Any other questions? Yes, Honorable.
On the same Chair, I wanted to find out if they have made any follow-ups with the RDA or the ministry to find out if the contract has been awarded. The contract has been awarded. Now, what is the status?
No, we have not made the follow-up, Chair. We took it for granted that since it was a presidential directive, maybe they will quickly take up the issue and mobilize.
So what are you going to do with the materials that were purchased?
Thank you, Chair. We actually, after the directive and after demobilization, we made sure that we secured all the materials. Others are at Civic Center, others are at the Chief's Palace, and others are at the district office. Yeah. Okay. The Civic Center and the Chief's Palace. So we secured the materials.
Yeah,
Thank you, Chair. So, was this the only road for you to keep the material idle? Or there could have been other roads that you'd have taken that material to?
No, we didn't think of taking the materials to other roads because we knew that there was a specific road. We feared that sometimes the bill of quantities may differ from, in terms of requirements.
I think seriously, we have come to the end. And you have seen how your council is operating. You collect tax from Namwala people with a hope, not only from Namwala people, you are also getting from mineral royalties, equalization fund, and we expect you to do better. There is need for you to improve your service. Find an opportunity of offering service to those that give you revenue from animals. You can put a checkpoint where they can also foot and mouth, all those things. You can also help them sometimes. And this will encourage them to see the need of paying tax to the council. Where your many clients must see the service, not generalized, but also specific to the way, because you seem to be getting your money. And also be creative enough to find other sources of income. Get this council moving. Because if you look at it now here, environmental management is not okay. We have money not accounted for, taken for over a year, not returned for people. Evaluation law not done. Rent charges, there are problems. Vacant posts, even remitting. Total obligations. Obligations means you have to do them, you have no choice. How do you offer salaries without NAPS obligation, without other obligations? Then it's not a complete salary. And we've gotten used to say, in other councils other than in this country, these are done immediately. Other workers, if you don't remit the NAPSA, they are taken to jail. But so you really do something for this council, really. I think you have an opportunity that you can deliver to the Namwala people. The revenue you're collecting is far below par. Far below par. The government gives you so much money, you collect very little. This is not normal. You should collect more than what the government gives you. So that then we can say the council is benefiting from this. And the main purpose is really to offer a service. Total obligations, fulfill them. Some of your workers will retire without benefits because you are not remitting the money. It could be you who is to retire next. So these should be done. And that's when you can say, you're on top of things. Make decisions as a group. And the things that are agreed upon must be done. Financial regulations followed. When they are not followed, the punitive measures are there, very clear, on what you should do. Not coming here to justify, failure. It is my hope that next year we may not see you here. May I now ask the permanent witnesses if they have any comment to give? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Council Secretary, Auditor General, we can only state that we note your submission to the committee. We will come and verify what you have submitted, make sure that all the documents are in place. You will be notified when we'll be coming through. Thank you, Chair.
Council Secretary, from the Controller of Internal Audit, we want to give you an advice, especially on the worker that you gave the disciplinary. There's one thing that I don't know what recommendation you made to the Service Commission. Maybe it's for termination. If it's for termination, assuming it's terminated and the letter is reading December 2022, it means this person is drawing the salary that you need to recover afterwards. And then usually then you might have not have enough money for you to recover this money, which means you are adding on to that misapplication that he did. And then the next is also, if the best thing to do is to take this person out of the council and give him half salary. If you give that person half salary and it happens that the commission recommends that he stays, it means that it's easy for you to give him the other part of the salary when he comes back. So I think the best, as we are going, look at, review the matter, and this layer off this person, give him half salary as we are waiting for the commissioner to decide. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. CS and your team, I think you have had the indulgence of the committee. For Namwala, you need to study the cattle industry. Very, very serious. and see how you derive from the value chain. I think that's where your revenue lies. And as you are doing that, as the chairperson has indicated, see what you plow back to those cattle farmers so that they are incentivized to ensure that they can continue paying. Otherwise, also key is urgently review the case of that revenue collector. Two things are clear. That should have been reported to police. It's theft by servant. Two is that the money needed to be recovered urgently, while the other case of theft is continuing. So urgently review that case and let it be an eye-opener to other revenue streams, how best we can. Namala is a critical council, so we need really to be up in arms. Chair, I submit. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. Now that we've come to the end, Cap 12 is now lifted. Thank you very much. You may now leave.